Nigerians, they die every day from hunger. People abandon their loved ones by the gates of certain places where they hope they can get help. They throw them away because they cannot afford the processes.
Is the political class prioritizing the next election over present security realities? Or could political maneuvering itself be influencing how security decisions are made? Is there a risk that national security becomes politicized, framed, interpreted, and debated through the lens of electoral advantage? These are not partisan questions. They are governance questions. And that is what we examine this morning on this show. Comrade Oluwakemi Ademola Aremo. Good to have you again.
Thank you. It's always a good day with you. Yes. Burning issues.
Just listen to what I said.
Yes. And it's on the front burner.
Are Nigerian politicians prioritizing politics over Nigerian lives?
Politics is every activity that surrounds the governance of a nation. So the business of politicians is Nigerian citizenship in Nigeria, and of course our international reactions and relationships. It is all about who we are, the perception of the people in power over our decisions that pertain to us, our policies, and our response, okay, to what they do. So everybody can only have an interest, or many interests, several interests as it pertains to living. So for the politicians, they are practitioners in organizing and dealing with the people. So the way they deal with us is dependent on how the people respond to what they do.
So let me ask you this question as from the academic standpoint. I don't want to talk to you as an activist. Okay, now, do you think it is too early for 2027 elections to dominate the national debate as we speak?
Since 2023, they've been discussing 2027. Remember, as at 2024, we were not sure 2026 was in Nigerian calendar. Everything, you know, it's almost as if they are fixated on seizing a position. They don't care how they act in those positions. They're not thinking they have to do anything special about the position. That is why people just do anything, because they know that the Nigerian populace is not giving the appropriate response to their activities. If we think you're too ambitious, I don't want to think of Julius Caesar. Okay? There are things that people do. So if you know that if you're going there, you're going to have to serve the people, you'll be shocked how many people will not want to go there.
Some people say if you fail to prepare, you prepare to fail. Isn't this preparations for the politicians ahead of 2027?
The Nigerian political class, I've said severally, are a civilian dictatorial class. Not all of them, definitely, you know, the normal distribution curve. You have the people at the extremes. But all they think about is how to seize power. You can now see that if you had these political groups, people run to another political groups where they think they are strategically positioned to be prominent and to seize power. So if you are angry because they didn't give you ministerial appointments at a point in time, you even think it's graduation from governorship to senatorial seat. Do you see what I'm saying? Their mindset is that they have to rule over the people. And ruling over the people does not mean solving the problems. See, Nigerians at the time didn't care who became heads of state or...
So what is it to be done if it is not about solving the problem?
Oh, it is just showing off and having access to allergies. Controlling people. See, when we talk about controlling, human beings that are controlling, narcissists, psychopaths, they are controlling. They get this demonic satisfaction from just telling people what to do. So, you know, you can just take drugs and come and tell people, waiting, what can you do? I'm sitting here. You can even command professors not to get their salaries. Is that not it? You can say, what do you mean? Close down the place, shut down. Is that not what we do? Even their children are not even afraid of us. I'm the first daughter, first son, first of what? And it's because Nigerians don't give appropriate response to their presence in our lives. If what we bring to... Yesterday, my daughter went to an IT place and there was a corpse. Okay, young girl, traumatized, just IT for an undergraduate student. And she was highly traumatized and she was saying, I said, listen, people die every day. Okay, excuse me. I said, oh, Nigerians, they die every day from hunger. People abandon their loved ones by the gates of certain places where they hope they can get help. They throw them away because they cannot afford the processes.
So is there any empirical link between heightened political activity at this time and weakened security strategy?
Well, it's a distraction, really. If you look at Nigeria, the money that needs to be garnered in for political activities have been done since 2024. Okay? So now it's a matter of now distribution strategy for keeping the people quiet, buying their votes. So if the government is putting up some standards, INEC is saying, oh no, you cannot do this, they will now go underground and strategize on how it will be done. Go to the ward levels and do whatever they will do. So I will not like to, I don't want to believe that we have gone that low. You know, nobody likes insecurity. Even if you're going to vote, there has to be some level of peace. You may use thugs to intimidate the people. You may shout, you know, there are many things you can do if they're not willing to give consent, because now their vote counts. Please, Nigerians, your vote counts. That's why they are afraid. So now, their vote count now and they must go out. Who should go out? That's the question. Are they on our side or against us? Then if they are going out, can we do anything to manipulate the result? You know, that will not be possible now if they have to do response in real time. Only nice things can be handled and stuff like that. So you now see them strategizing. That is why Nigerians must become involved in politics. All of us. Not that you are part of it, whether you are sitting in a position or not. And then the questions we take to them. A leader is as good as the people he's leading, the followership. If what we bring to the burner are burning questions, they are forced to look at it and give response.
Okay, if security is the primary responsibility of the government, stability, law and order, then would you say Nigeria has been managing that effectively?
No, we have not. And you see, when we think of physiological level of needs.
But some would say Nigeria as a country is not the only country facing security challenges. There are so many other countries.
And there are so many countries
Africa and outside.
There are many countries that are not facing security challenges. We keep forgetting that we, as a people, Nigerians, are the foremost leaders of the black race. When we understand our lofty position and calling, we will take our stand. If a nation like Nigeria has insecurity, now we're talking about physical security. Do you see? Food security, we don't have. Health security. Institutional security. Institutional security means our institutions can run without any crisis. Is that not what it means? That's systemic violence against the people. So what do we really have as a people? Even our families are no longer secured because of economic issues. So insecurity has different layers and layers and layers. That is why I'm saying that, look, it will take all of us. People say, what can I do? There are many things you can do. You can get involved in this conversation and refuse to be bribed. If we don't discuss, if we have to understand that what we call politics today, governance of a people, began with discussions. The Athenians would discuss. The Greeks, everybody would discuss. Oh, what do we do? How do we do? Even people sit at city gates. It means we must go back to these conversations. And the higher our demands are, the loftier, the primordial will drop. So this ability to use religion, to use ethnicity can fall away. Religion is important. Ethnic leniencies are important because you cannot really fight for what has no connection to you. Human beings are like that. And it is nice too. But the big deal is this. We as a people must understand. These politicians want to sit here. We should make sure that the sword of Damocles is hanging over his head. We should create a process around that lofty position so that when you're there, you're going to serve the people. You cannot be a senator and be bringing groundnut oil. That's an insult. You cannot be a councillor and have no counsel yourself. Okay? You should be a justice of peace. You cannot be a leader when you are only showcasing your wife and your children. What does that? Every male should be able to take care of their family.
So now it's called security, political permutations generally determine how security resources are spread across, especially in volatile states.
Oh, definitely. But beyond that, okay, and that's another
Some
thing.
say insecurity is now a business.
Oh, definitely. Multi-trillion business. But then it's the people too. If the people understand that the subject to be secured is your life, our attitude will change. If we keep thinking somebody else is going to have more interest in our lives than we have, then the situation will change. So that is why I'm saying the leaders lead a followers based on what they desire.
But Nigerians are helpless. Most Nigerians they do not know what to do, especially in some situations.
Well, I'll give an example. There was the day we had an action. Action to a comrade means we went on the field. So I came to my children's primary school. They were kids then. And when I came, like in my action gear, you know, boots and knickers and stuff like that. So the then headmaster said, very tall, lanky human being said, oh, do you know why they are treating us like this? It's because we don't know our rights. Like, you know, I looked at him, you know, really he's very tall. And I looked, and I'm 1.68. You sure I'm not short, okay? I looked at him, I said, then find out. How can a man say he doesn't know? Do you know that guy found out his rights? In that process, he changed his job. Look, don't be intimidated. Your mothers that told you, don't join them. Don't go out and talk. They're removing you from governance. Understand, that place is everybody's position. But there's a price to pay. The price to pay is the price of knowledge. Knowledge is power. You may not be born into the aristocracy. Your father is not a politician. But if you do what you should do in your community, you're prominent.
Some have fears that insecurity in Nigeria must have been politicized for political advantage.
You know, I will not want to believe we've gone that low. There was a time, really, if you think of hoodlums, it was politicians that reared them to combat one another because the power was not with the people. People grow, nations grow. So now we're at a position where people are more conscious. You know, whether they like it or not, Nigerians are getting educated and informed every day. With community radios, information everywhere. It's not even when you don't want to look. There was a time when if you could not read and write, you could not read newspapers. So you didn't have access to information. But now, if you can hear, you will hear. Okay? Even now, drugs, you have braille on drugs. Nigerians are getting informed every day. And the social media, God bless everybody. The social media is not allowing anybody to rest. So now, what we should now engage are deep discussions. Some people out there should start putting up content to discuss the history of the black race. Do you get how it is? They should begin to discuss what are the concepts that underpin politics. They should begin to tell people, engage them. Let's have robust discussions. Let us move to the place of power. So where you can, you know, because another language of the poor is fist. Okay? When you have the words to express yourself, don't get angry and distressed enough to start blowing anybody. Okay? If you can use words. So let's judge. It means let's have conversations, one family at a time. Every table for food should be tabled. It should be a table for discussions.
So let's talk about Nigerian security institutions. Do you think they are strong enough to maintain a level of neutrality amid heightened political tension?
No. I will not say that our security situation is, human beings are human beings. We have interest and we are influenced. Now, there's no way you can be in securities and you are on this side or that side. Once you are a military person, okay, you are definitely on the side of the state. That's why sometimes some discussions are not discussions for the public. What I mean by that is this: you obey your commandant for the greater good. That's a different level of operations. It's in the civilian space that you have either for or against. But in the military, you're clear cut, you go for the enemies of the state. That is why it matters who sits on that seat. Because that is the grand commander-in-chief of the armed forces. So but the kind of insecurity we are facing in Nigeria, where we had banditry, you know, we are in a historical space. The former president declared to everybody that they were his brothers. And he would even say, don't be harsh with your brothers. Forgive these people that have come to
And that was why we saw
decimate
repentant Boko Haram members at the time.
Well, it's because our president then did not understand how the human mind works.
So what does the body language of the government say in all of this?
Right now, that is different now because we now have a Trump that has decided to be interested in Nigeria. And so there are now multiple players in the dynamics. Yes, the whole world cannot watch a Nigeria collapse, so they are paying attention. And we, the citizens, should seize the opportunity. America is not salvation. Let's get that right. But it's also an opportunity. Like what we are having with El-Rufai now. Okay? Nigerians should understand. We are to listen more. Now, I've been saying since 2025 that 2026 is the year of the bride. Everybody brings out, hey, I want to marry you, I want to marry you. Let us now be discerning the red flags, the blue flags, the green flags, and know what we're doing. So it is time for us to pay attention to what is happening. They will be exposing themselves now because they think that we are easily influenced and persuaded by words, propaganda. Okay, they'll be digging up dirt. So let them do the fighting amongst themselves. We should watch and make up our minds. Understand, whoever becomes your governor will determine what things are invested in your governance.
If security agencies become partisan, what are the risks?
The risk is that there'll be a lot of conflict. Partisan. They are already, we are human beings. You know that in Nigeria, there is no system in place. That's why we keep talking about restructuring. It means that you may be the best police officer and you may never get promoted because you don't know anybody. So the nepotistic attitude is what is destroying our system. You may be a graduate.
You just mentioned that there's no system in place.
Yeah, that is it. No, that system there was a system in place.
Okay.
Yes. So that was, I said, there was a country where everybody knew merit should matter. 13th of February, I really missed General Murtala Mohammed that day. I mean, it was all over my mind, okay? There was a system in place.
How bad is the system now?
No, now we've destroyed it with nepotism. We've destroyed it with lack of respect for merit. So people now came to the point where they are now socializing to understand that it's not whether you're good, it's who you know. That's nepotism. It's who you know. So that is what people are running for now. But the moment Nigerians decide, where I'm seated, I want who is good, at the risk of who will now remove you because you're doing the right. People get punished now for what is good. So it is the system we have now. So that system is dysfunctional.
Is it wrong to believe in the usual tagline of follow who no road?
If they know road, if they not go take you, go hell. Yes, these people are leading us into abyss. See the economy. Were they not leading us? Did they know the road? They don't know this road to success, but they know that road for their children. Think of the map. They know how to get excellent education for their children, while the children of the poor should miss school. They know how to take care of their sick when they are ill, but they think that our own hospitals can shut down for a long time. Do you see it? So they know the road that they want for their family members. They are holding place now for their children to take over. So if you're a Nigerian listening to me and you are voting the son of somebody, understand nobody can inherit a brain. A mind is special. That's why every human being is unique. The fact that the father even knew something about politics, whatever kind of politics he's practicing, the son cannot inherit it. That's aristocracy. Where you think the king has a son, and because of the system in the palace, the son would learn to be gallant. That is not happening for us in Nigeria. So understand, now you see all of them going around with their sons. Have you noticed it? You keep asking yourself, these grown-up human beings, do they not have jobs to do? How are they free to be following daddy and mommy up and down? You see, they are preparing themselves. And the democracy, if Benjamin Franklin said he didn't want to be a king, okay? So they created the democratic system, a system where every adult person can come and contribute to their nation, and they will get, some reward for the contribution they've made to the society. That is why you can have a Bill Gates that didn't finish school at a point, create his own business. That is proper democracy, where your contribution to the state is what determines what you get. It's a capitalist-based economy. But in a Nigeria where we're disproportionately aligned, where the majority of the people are not educated, where the majority of the people are so primordial, they are sentimental, then you have to put in another thing. And that was what Abawolowo put in place. Let the people be educated. So when you see anybody say, don't worry, your children can just, because I used to sell on the street, your children can also be hanging on the street. That person does not like you. No matter how sweet that sound, your life is at risk.
So do you now think Nigerians are becoming desensitized because of political noise?
No. A group of Nigerians are waking up. You can see them going to the House of Assembly to tell them, no. You cannot pass that bill. Okay? We will have this bill. People are beginning to be more conscious. They now know we should take the battle to your gate. Before you pass a bill that will put us in trouble, we want to be part of it. And many Nigerians in the diaspora are working hard to make sure Nigeria gets better because they are not resting. Can you imagine when you're living in the cold and you have to keep sending money to everybody? It's not easy. It's not easy. You're sustaining people in the family instead of making progress in a new community to establish yourself and your seed. You say a lot is happening. So everybody is interested in this Nigeria. Nigeria is a nation of concern to me. The mind of the people in Nigeria is of concern to me. The health of the people is of concern. Look, that lady that died that my daughter saw yesterday, she died of malnutrition. Why? They said somebody dumped her. She could have died of many things, okay? But nobody was caring for her. Why? Nobody will intentionally throw away their family members if they have resources to take care of them. So we are seeing it. At my daughter's age, I didn't see a corpse. Now she had to see it. And she was like, they're saying it's normal. I said, it is in Nigeria now. People are dying because they cannot afford health care. They are dying because they cannot even pursue justice. Justice is expensive in Nigeria. Healthcare is expensive in Nigeria. Education is expensive in Nigeria. Meaning 1,355,000,000 are exchanged from that system. So what is the future? That is more than the population of some nations. So yes, insecurity has a link with governance, and the response of the people is what determines what the government will consider important.
Now, if this trend continues, what does the security landscape in Nigeria, what is it going to look like in the next 1 year, 2027 to be precise?
I want to say that I'm trusting that Nigerians know that there's only one life. There's no extra life anywhere. So the trend should not continue. It means that in your community, begin to groom your young boys. See, anybody coming to attack you understands your strength. They've done an evaluation of your ability to resist. So if we keep grooming cowardice, or if we keep telling ourselves that somebody is coming, we will not be strong. If you know nobody is coming, and I'm telling you, Nigeria is changing. Women are no longer sitting down and thinking one man is coming. That mind is changing. Children are not thinking, hey, my daddy has to bless me. They are understanding, look, blessing or curses, I have a life to live. Do you see it? Our youth are not waiting for employment. They are creating jobs and making waves all over the world. The power dynamics is changing every day. And I'm excited. So the same way, if you thought you would throw rice at their chest, they will not take it. And they are beginning to understand the power dynamics that if we come together, we can vote out anybody. There is nothing that says you must choose between APC, ADC, and PDP. No! XYZ, ZLP, MPP, whatever PP they want to put, you can choose. So long you vote for that person, the person takes the seat. So do your work. If you're a young man and you want to be involved into politics, just go around the household in your community. Go to each family, be involved with them, strategize. If you don't win now, you win later. The reason they are spending so much money buying tickets is because they think they have a structure in place. You go back to the grassroots. And that's why I'm saying the INEC chairman, please, if you want your name to be written in gold, then let us begin the election with the councillorship. That's the first election to go. When we start with the presidency, like you are planning in February, you're already going to bias the system because people want to align with the president. So that is why I know that we are not there yet. It's not Uhuru yet. We are not there yet, but we're in a process. We're in a process because Nigerians know when the people making soap left Nigeria, what did Nigerians do? They started making soap at home. Is that not it? Nigerians are learning that nobody is coming. So we are in another phase of independence. And this is to the politicians. You should be very, very careful. Your children are not going to rule over us. We will not take it. Yeah, people are sending their own children to school and they will have to contend with those children that are more, when you're not big, you have more power. Chemistry. So those kids on the street that see you fly over their head every time you're doing the flyover, you're not considering them, they are studying the system. They can talk to one another, and that is what I'm calling. Please, if you are a CBO, you are a CSO, you are an FBO, go to the people you've been feeding for years. Talk to them. Who you vote for matter. Don't be hooligans in their campaigns. Women, stop dancing up and down. It's very strange how Nigerian women behave. They give them white vest, very ugly vest like this, not even good quality vest, okay? Then they start dancing up and down. Hey, as they are dancing, when it is time for putting people in positions, you don't get any positions. Then you now think I'll go and beg them. And
Some of them eventually become women leaders.
No.
Some of them get to nominate their children in some cases.
That is what they think.
It's
There's a process.
This is what we'll discuss the next time you come here. What is the role of women in politics?
Very terrible.
Thank you for joining us on the show this morning.
Thank you for having me.
That's been a wonderful session with you.
Thank you.
Now, as we have had today, politics and governance are inseparable in any democracy. But the balance between preparing for tomorrow's election and protecting today's citizens is delicate. If political ambition overshadows public safety, the cost is paid not in headlines, but in human lives. Yet, if political competition strengthens accountability, it could also sharpen the focus on security delivery. The real issue is not whether 2027 conversations will happen. They will. The real issue is whether Nigeria's security architecture remains firm, professional, and insulated from partisan calculations. That is the conversation we must continue to have. Thank you, Comrade Katie, for joining us on the show this morning.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you for sharing your insight. I'm Samson Balogun, and this has been The Big Story on Daybreak Live. Stay informed, stay engaged, and stay safe.